Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 119 of the Terminus podcast.
Woo.
I am your host, God damn it, I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me this week, I have my engineers, Brett Wiebold and Nick Christensen, and my fireman, Jared Cole. And
Hello.
Rejoining us as our brakeman this week is Dachshund or Dachshund Railfan.
Yeet.
Wiebold, unfortunately, has a bit of a voice problem. He's sick and he's dying and he cannot speak, so...
I've caught AIDS.
In his place, we have John Madden, or Microsoft Sam.
John Madden.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Anyway.
I'm actually Microsoft Dave.
I was wondering what the hell the actual name... Anyway, before we get to the rest of this show, finally, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, this week we are building dice assels in Gmod. Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
We're building
Speaking of dice assholes,
Diesel,
Yeah.
you stupid computer.
we had some dead diesels here this week. In fact, we have a lot of accidents. An immense amount of accidents. Starting with the first of 5 for Union Pacific on March 15th.
Rip in peace, Union Pacific.
Yeah.
Rest in spaghetti, never forgetty.
Train derail south of Ritzville. Actually, do I have a duplicate in here? Because I might. I might have a duplicate in here. So let me
Duplexin.
let me load up these articles real quick because they're just. This one's not letting me in. Let me in.
Yeah, man.
Nope. This is a. Oh, okay. This is the 23-car derailment in the tunnel.
Ooh.
UP train with Canadian Pacific engines somewhere in the snow in the mountains south of Ritzville. I don't know what state this is in. Oh, it says Spokane, so Washington.
Sodium chlorate. I believe that.
Yeah. And 23 freight cars derailed. 11 of those were inside the tunnel. No injuries reported. The railroad said there were no hazardous materials involved and the cars were carrying various types of freight. But I think there's another article about this. Again, allegedly this was back on the 15th, March 15th. That's when this was posted? Yeah. So, maybe Union Pacific is just having a really tough time with the number 23, but we'll come back to them in a bit.
Well, it's good nobody was hurt.
Yeah. CSX had a derailment on March 17th, and this one has a nice story associated with it a little bit, because there was a CSX derailment at a streetcar museum in Baltimore, and on St. Patrick's Day, a bunch of volunteers came together to clean up the damage from the derailed train. I believe it took out a substation.
Yep.
Yeah. Less than a month ago, the museum was reopened. It's completely run by volunteers. And, you know, there's a lot happening here to get this poor little museum that was assaulted by a runaway train back on its feet. So, maybe pay them a visit. That was CSX's first issue.
Well, that's cool that they're fixing it.
Yeah. Union Pacific on March 20th. Here's another one. This was in the Columbia Basin, allegedly. What happened here? This is Ritzville. This is Ritzville.
Yeah.
This is the same one, I believe. So, we might have this might be
It might be an update on it.
duplicate here. Yeah, no, there might be an update. I would appreciate an update. 23 car derailment. Yeah, 11 of the 23 cars inside the tunnel. There was a spill of sodium chlorate, which is a crystalline chemical used in bleaching paper pulp. Happened in one of the cars. that was outside the tunnel. No estimated time for reopening the line, which runs from the Canadian border to the Columbia River Gorge, and
Oh, they're on the Spokane International then.
yeah,
Okay.
and trains got rerouted across Beansniff. So
Is Ritzville next to Tostatosburg?
okay.
Tostitos.
Wait.
Oh, I okay. Tostitasville. God damn it. I understand. Haha, very funny.
Ha ha ha.
Use your power for good, Clibold.
Yeah.
With great power
great
comes
power
great
comes
responsibility,
great
and I
something.
want to see pictures of
Oh.
Spider-Man. There was a CP derailment on the TransLink West Coast Express, something or other. It's impacting West Coast Express. I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
But there was a relatively small derailment, which occurred near their yard and was impacting access to the station for the trains, and it stopped 4 different trains, but there was a bus bridge set up. All in all, relatively small potatoes. Canadian Pacific has its act together, at least it does right now. And then moving on to another Union Pacific derailment, because these just don't end. This is another 23-car derailment, except this one's much messier.
Someone at UP pissed off God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hear frantic typing. I know Weibel's going to say something. The Utah Department of Environmental Quality was notified at 9:25 a.m. That there was a derailment of 23 cars, which released an unknown quantity of propane. Unfortunately, or rather, fortunately, it was only 1 car of propane, not many cars of propane, but that's still quite a bit of propane to accidentally spill.
Antiel is still
Any
triggered.
accessories?
Wab, I assume that's Wab County, JUAB. They were collecting air samples. Railroad sent hazardous materials response team out. Utah sent their own hazardous materials response team out. They were not able to project a time frame to clear the cars. So this the second one where UP goes, well, I don't know, it'll get fixed eventually.
Jeez.
And then we had 2 derailments on March 26th. First one with NS in Richmond. This was a 4-car derailment where they tipped over some cars with a cleanup of 48 hours, so we have an estimate for this one. Good job, NS. At least they're on top of their derailments. Canadian National also had a derailment the same day. This was in Saskatoon. And the real annoying part of this is it blocked several railroad crossings. It was only 2 cars. They didn't even fall over, but they did block the crossings for 1 day, approximately.
Jesus.
Oof.
Yeah. Which, that sucks. I like how in a lot of these articles there's like brief explanations of what are trains for people that are just discovering this mode of transportation for the first time by learning about this derailment. There's a brief synopsis of what an intermodal train is and what it does. It's just like a 2-sentence, like, it carries containers that can be quickly loaded onto trucks. Anyway.
Was it in a populated area?
Something like that. It was, again, it said they blocked crossings in a city, so the area didn't look very populated, but it is Canada, so populated is relative.
There's a lot of towns, like...
Populated with moose.
With caribou!
I'm offended.
Caribou!
Anyway.
There's a lot of towns that... I don't know how relatable this is, but speaking of populated areas, just like... There's a lot of towns that when a train goes through, the town is literally cut in half.
Oh yeah, we talked last episode about some people that were cut off from their homes for like 7 hours at a time because trains would idle over their crossings. People that had to sleep in their cars because they couldn't
During
get...
rush hour, no less.
Yeah.
But like the town my grandparents live in is one of those towns, and every time the train goes through, the whole town gets cut in half because like the houses are all on one side and like the main part of the town is on the other side of the tracks.
Yep. Anyway, So apparently, Canadian National has a habit of laying out materials for work in between the gauge. And,
That's really stupid.
yeah, so there were 2 accidents involving tie plates that were between the tracks. Allegedly, originally it said, there were loose rail ties left between the tracks, but it was actually just tie plates left between the tracks. However, these caused 2 derailments. So,
You know what this reminded me
on the
of?
26th or 28th, they suspended the practice of laying materials between the gauge.
Good job. You
good
should have
job,
never
Dan.
started.
Yeah.
You
maybe
know what
that's a
that
good
reminds
idea.
me of? Remember that video of the CSX crew who was just driving their train through the trees?
No.
You sent it to me.
Oh, really? I don't remember.
Yeah, there was like a tree on the tracks, and the CSX
Oh, yeah,
crew
I do
just
remember that. I do remember that. It had been, like, fallen because of a storm or something.
yeah.
Anyway,
And they're like cruising there giggling about it.
they just smashed through it. Another NS
It was
train.
1,309 that just effed up the crossbuck that was downed. 1309.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oof.
Anyway,
Reminded me of their practice of
Route
just
68.
putting lunch pails on the dead man's pedal.
Route 68 in Industry, Pennsylvania, NS train
Wow.
blew apart the trailer of a semi-truck. No one was injured.
Well,
Trailer
I
was
guess
empty.
that's I guess that's industry.
Yeah. Goodbye, industry.
Yeah.
Alright, that's the other incident on... Oh, okay.
Only a semi-serious accident.
So we've revised now down to 3 Union Pacific accidents, and this is the 3rd one. And final one, I believe. There was a train derailment at the Oak Street crossing, which ripped the truck off of a covered hopper, by the looks.
Ooh.
F.
The back 2 cars of the Union Pacific cargo train, quote-unquote, detached themselves. No one was injured. I didn't think that things could come apart like that, but
Big inverto commas there.
yeah.
Yep.
Alright, anyway, that's our crashes for this week. The only people that
Okay.
didn't crash are BNSF and, of course, KCS, because they never crash, because they don't exist.
So,
Good job,
now,
BN.
who has the
Nice.
mantle of responsibility?
KCS does,
still.
because it's KCS, they don't ever lose it.
Well,
Wow,
because
what
they
a
don't
shock.
exist.
Yeah. Well, that's why they don't exist. That's the title that they gain by being good at not crashing and breaking things.
How do they manage?
I don't know. And, well, I mean, they also don't exist just because people kind of do tend to forget that they exist. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think about Class
They-
1 that's like, what has KCS done? Not even bad, but just notable at all, ever.
Yeah. They're very underweighted too.
What have they done ever? Not exist.
Drops
right.
Mike. Anyway,
Drops Mike and leaves.
aside from KCS, what have we done in the past couple of weeks? Or
What
so?
have we done?
Played
More than
a
usual.
This
stupid
past
amount.
week was spring
of,
break, which was fun. I went to the Strasbourg Railroad to help move along work on RGS number 20 and I caught bird flu.
Nice.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So yeah, to sum up, Wiebot flew to, I wouldn't quite call it my neck of the woods, but he spent a week at Strasbourg doing things with 20, and 20 cursed him, and now he has no voice.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yikes.
So, I have kind of gotten more interested in railroading again because...
Welcome back. Come
Welcome back. Yeah, I know.
You can't
I
escape.
I faded out for a while, but then, spring is here, so we have some beautiful days, and
Yeah.
so I was like sitting around. I'm like, what do I want to do? I have nothing to do, and I said, screw it, I'll go trackside, and I actually had a pretty decent time, and then I started playing Derail Valley.
I want you to play a bit of this. I want this game, and I really wish it had multiplayer.
Admittedly, there's not a whole lot to the game yet. It's still in pretty early development. But I looked up the roadmap. Hold on, let me get it.
I've heard the steam physics are so bad.
It's not. I mean, okay, well maybe
They're not awful, but they
They're
aren't
not awful.
great. It's not
So-
like Run 8 does steam engines. It's like, you know, it's with like trains physics-ish. It's like,
I mean, I guess you can only ask for so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's VR.
As for like, so I looked up the roadmap, and I'm actually really excited to be a part of this community now, because there is the steam locomotive, yeah, but you know, it's just a steam locomotive, and the first little starter. The starter locomotive sucks. It's so stupid.
The little diesel
But
Steam locomotive.
Yeah.
meep meep.
dude, it's bad. But
What is it?
I have no idea
It's
what it
like
is.
a little Plymouth-looking thing.
It's like
Ding
yeah,
ding.
it's
Okay.
but like we're getting a rail bus, an electric locomotive, which I don't know how
Hey.
that's gonna work. There's a diesel, like an actual full-size diesel locomotive coming. An electric multiple unit.
It'd be really funny
There's
if you could run the electric engine off of the wires, just like
Yeah.
stranded out there.
LOL.
Yeah. That'd be great.
There's a whole bunch coming, and like there's AI trains, which that looks fun. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but no, I'm excited to see where this game goes because it's really really cool.
Is multiplayer on their roadmap anywhere?
It is not.
Damn. I would get the thing in a
Oh
heartbeat.
god.
Which
have a perfect track record, as we know.
Was that a pun?
I don't know. I would hope that
I trains.
you know, because it's a VR game and like a lot of VR games are multiplayer.
Yeah.
I would kind of wish that it would be multiplayer because that would be incredibly fun. But as of now, you know, the world itself is kind of dead because you're the only train. There's like nothing else going on,
Yeah.
and it's still really buggy and glitchy. But despite all that, it's actually a really really fun game.
Before I do AI over the whole thing. Speaking of AI,
Soon TM.
actually, that's a good segue because I finally got my tram railroad road ATLS crossing on the Valley Line on Tolbrin to work properly. And boy, was that an adventure of reading a lot of instruction manuals on ATLS and a lot of trial and error and a lot of sitting here frustrated while Madison was like, "Come play Fallout." I'm like, I'm sorry.
How hard did you have to blow Mason?
Wow, okay.
Actually, believe it or not, Mason didn't help me with this one. He has given me a lot of inspiration or even direct help with designing stuff in Mason Valley, but
MHM.
I never had to go and be like, "Mason, I'm stuck, please help." But he does have a way with ATLS.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, Lord Mason, please save me.
Lord Mason,
Yeah.
please. But yeah, so after I did that, I started programming my other trams. And as I previously mentioned, once I do out the whole schedules for them, it's probably going to be many thousand commands. But that's okay, because I do actually hate myself that much. So,
Who are you?
getting the whole tram system for the Valley up and running is something that I'm actually kind of excited to do. Now that I know how to make these crossings a little bit more. Now that it was a journey of understanding. It wasn't like, oh, I just did the instructions wrong, and this is how you do it right. It was like oh, okay, so that's what this means, that's what this means, these are what the routes are.
Yeah.
I got in the head of ATLS and how it works. So I feel like I have a pretty damn good grasp on ATLS, at least when it comes to building level crossings and stuff like that. I don't think I could build a proper intersection yet, though. Not that I'm going to. That's something that's beyond the level of detail that I care about on Tolbrin.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like, I have my details, but not that extreme.
Whoa! Wait. Okay, there is multiplayer.
Is there? Oh, I'm so in.
Once if it reaches this goal,
Okay.
What is the goal?
How's your root milky?
the goal for 2-player co-op multiplayer is 35,000 points, and right now Derail Valley is at 27,568 points on this on the unlock thing.
Now,
On the community unlocks. Okay, that's cool.
Milky,
Oh, Wiebot just asked me about my loot.
Yeah.
I'll send some screenshots. So
Yeah,
far,
sorry to
the-
I
back here, but I just found that.
that's fine. The bi-weekly
I'll put a- I'll-
Milky's
I'll,
route update. I like it.
I'll actually here. I'm gonna put a link so you can put it in the cargoes.
All right, thank you. I will do that.
So basically, if you've been following the podcast for the past, I don't know, a few
Oh my
months, I've
god,
been
it's
working.
the Trestle Spanner Bridge. I remember this thing from.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what was that route I made? Oh my god, I just had like a freaking flashback.
Speaking of flashbacks, I had a flashback the other day.
Oh, no.
Remember the Hatterack line that I built?
Yeah.
The route that I loved that I watched corrupt itself.
Oof.
I kind of want to start rebuilding it again because I really did like
would-
that
We
route.
have
I would
technology.
1000% support this decision.
Yeah.
Also, the Hatterack line was one of the things that made me think of my
I have pictures of it.
my alternate project to Tolbrand, which was instead of building a brand new gigantic mega route, taking everyone's unfinished routes and stitching them together into one massive route. I'm not going to do that because I have Tolbrand to work on, but that would be such a fun project.
I admit I had a huge amount on that line too, and I was so sad when it went away.
Milky, talk
After
about what
Tolbert
you've
in 10
done.
years.
Talk about what you've done, and then
Okay.
I want to bring up something that I just had a total flashback
What?
to that I haven't thought about in a
Yeah.
really, really long time.
What I've been doing is basically for the Durways and the development, I just had 2D trees to save on the FPS a little bit.
Mhm.
And to my credit, it did save on FPS a little bit while I was working on the route. But now I've gotten to the point where I got comfortable with where the trees were, so I convert them all to speed trees, and it makes areas look very sexy.
It looks better.
Shed.
It looks
Yeah.
better.
Those screenshots were taken on the Hatterack line.
Let's see. An holy metal machine. What the hell is that?
That's just it.
Probably the bathroom door.
We were
Yeah,
talking about.
that's just
I just merged these two pictures in my head because we were talking about the various business trains of all the different railroads the other day. We were just having a discussion in the fan chat over like, what's your favorite? But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, guys.
Albany and West. We don't have one.
Yeah. Favorite class 1 business train, guys.
Albany and West.
Foam, foam, foam.
All right.
Accurate. Does it have to be a current one?
I mean, the question is, what's your favorite current class 1 business train?
Oof. Yeah.
What did Wiebot say?
He said, "What's up with that?"
UP.
Yeah, UP's nice. They've got nice coaches.
I don't know. I'm a fan of BNSFs.
BNSF is really nice looking.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of CSXs because of the F40s.
So TB, do you want to be that guy in BNSF?
Kind of, but I
Iowa.
got to admit.
Has the 2 QJs.
Wait, hold on. What we're talking about railroads? What about the railroads?
Favorite business train of class 1.
Oh, I don't even know the business trains.
Oh well.
Oof.
Well, I mean, NS has F units, so or do they have E
Yeah,
units? Is it F units or E?
Oh,
I don't know,
I gotta say UP's business train.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Didn't NS use the PRRE units for a while?
no, I thought they had their own.
Yeah. They used Conwell for a while.
God.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, anyway, God damn it.
Cause see, UP's business train is now led by 1943.
Yeah.
And has steam.
And wait, what?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they do.
Sometimes they
do
throw
something,
844 on it.
but also BNSF has been known to steal 4449 for no good reason to run their business train.
Just go film an IMAX
Yeah.
movie. And
Also,
yeah.
Bradley is the father of the UPE units.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
KCS has a
After
nice
looking-
business train too.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah. Oof.
I mean, KCS actually has F units, so
That's also true. No, KCS does have some nice looking. Nice.
Who is KCS?
Nobody knows.
nobody
Like Canada, they don't exist.
knows.
No, but the CSX one I love for their F40s, which I've seen one of. I think I saw 9998 in Beacon Yard before they started tearing the place up in Boston. Speaking of which, I get to see lots of trains going back and forth, but I haven't seen a freight train in a while. I used to see the Mansfield local every single day when I was on my ride home in the afternoon.
Man, that's the wrong way.
What? Wrong
Down
Mansfield.
Mansfield, Washington.
Wrong Mansfield. Mansfield, Mass.
The only train I've seen in this week was an auto rack train.
I've seen. I saw an Amtrak the other night, and I have a little story to go along with that. We call it the Person T story.
What story?
The Person T story.
Person T,
I told
oh boy.
I told him photo dump, but
I don't
I'm
remember.
gonna scroll up a little bit. But anyways, I was at the Amtrak station taking pictures of the Cascades at night. I noticed between these two wood chip cars, there's a P&W engine, so I take a picture of it, because why not?
Cool.
And then I get approached by this woman who comes out of her car.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Dude,
Did you
Story
get
never goes
opposition
anywhere
by
good.
this woman?
Who also, went to Camler for $5 a month.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I
I
remember
have
this.
Yep.
Ralphos.
Yep.
So that's what they're calling it now.
Yeah, right.
I've been approached by random
And
people.
and
It's not fun.
yeah, and yeah, it's weird. She also noticed that the engine between the cars, and noticed I took a picture of it. We had a small conversation about it, and oh yeah, man, you should wet my camera for $5 a night. No thanks.
That engine is
Oh.
like, hey kid, you want to buy my whole company?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
LOL.
not as bad as my story of being approached by
okay.
a random person on a platform.
Was it a lady of the
She
night?
she was a tweaker.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And
yeah, you
so-
got it worse.
I'm sitting up there just like hanging out. You know, it's sun's going down. It's starting to get dark. I was about ready to go head home, but I heard a train coming in from down the tracks. I'm like, all right, I'll stay and watch it. And she comes up to me and is like, "Do you work on the railroad?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Can you stay back?" I'm like, "I'm behind the line. What are you talking about?"
The cougar
And-
says children.
And then she's like, "I just don't want to see a beautiful young man like you get killed." You know. And then,
Wow,
so I was like,
boy.
"Okay." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then it comes down the tracks like on the platform, and she like grabs my arm and pulls me back. I'm like, "Let go of me."
Jesus.
And then she
Calm
starts
down.
telling me these stories about like really morbid stories about how
Oh,
people in her
Christ,
family
no.
have died. And so I text my mom, "Can you call me? This lady's creeping me out," because she was in her car. And so she calls me. I was like, "Hey, I gotta leave. Thanks for the conversation." And
Oh my god.
Starts.
Yeah, TB, you had it worse.
Yeah, that's
Press X to escape.
Yeah. You've got to get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Run, you asshole.
All right.
Run.
So
She gave me
my mom comes in clutch.
you're so okay.
Mom picked me up. This party is scary.
Milky's Trestle Spanner Bridge brought back memories of the first mega project route that I ever did that had completely left my memory. And I had drawn it on like 20 pages of regular copy paper, and I had built a frame out of Connects to hold the thing up as like a big map to work on.
Wow.
And I would like break it down and fold it up and take it from place to place. And it was a huge map, and I actually got a lot of it done. It was garbage, but it was a big map. It was my first ever mega project. It predates Geiger Mountains by a lot, actually. By like a couple of years, I think.
Old boy.
Yeah, it was from like when I first got and first started to understand how to work trains in 2006. But anyway.
Glad that I'm giving you flashbacks.
Yeah.
And the other project that I put in the screenshots is I have this episode 9 procedural track for Freefoot.
Yeah.
And we have a scene coming up in Cell Shock in Nine Horsemen that requires the White Pass to be winter. Yeah.
So you made a little White Pass diorama?
No, I actually reskinned the track to be winter.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's handy.
And by reskin, I of course mean grab a stock photo off of the internet of snow.
Snow and paste it over the texture. Yeah, you know, it's close enough.
It works.
It works.
You know, I actually thought... I was going back and forth on Tolbrand, right? Because I was talking about the climate of the place. And it's like, I don't think I'm going to have any places where you get up to, like, snow line, you know? I don't think I'm going to have any snow scenes. I talked about this on Under Construction, actually, because I was telling Madison about it. Speaking of which, Madison's been joining me for Under Construction, which has been fun.
girl.
Yeah. I think I mentioned that last time, but she's been on the last couple. This next one, I don't think she's going to be able to be on because it's like her birthday's coming up really soon, and I've got to make the thing anyway. And I was like, why don't you come on for your birthday? She's like, no.
Oh.
It's hard to mix snow and now snow scenes on the same route effectively.
Yeah. Well, it's also just kind of a pain to make a snow scene look really good. I feel like you run out of textures and assets and stuff really fast.
I did.
The problem is, I never really found it hard to make different scenes. What the hardest thing is transitioning between scenes. Because you want to make it like, sure, you can just go through a tunnel and take like the coward's way out and just use a tunnel and just use a transition. But I hate tunnels.
Seppuku.
I hate tunnels.
So I would always try to like dot in different textures, like kind of like splotches of sand until at some point like it rounds a corner and is in a desert or like I don't know, but like it's hard to transition between scenes. It's not hard to make multiple scenes on the same route.
And I have an area that's probably gonna be a little bit closer to high desert, so I'm really gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You could just have the forest on meth way out and just cross over a bridge, and suddenly you're gone from forest to desert.
No, because that looks bad.
That's Well, you
Magic.
know, you got to do what you got to do.
Magic.
Like on one side of the river, it's green and lush and beautiful, and on the other side, it's barren and dead.
I mean, that's why one of the Terminus podcasts is Name Your Forest on Meth.
Yeah.
It's like the backlot tour at MGM.
Yeah, exactly. You go behind the scenes, behind the woods. Yeah. Anyway.
I also downloaded a model of the CP Huntington. That was fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just showed that for a second.
And then I had this other scene that I built on the way because I didn't have enough spots where you could blow your whistle on the train. So I built this house on the other side of the tracks.
We need more crossings.
How long did it take you to raise the Huntington from the grave?
Oof. And it was also a test of the GMD1. Because I thought, how effective would this be on the Albany and Western, even though it's a Canadian engine? Very effective. Yeah.
Don't discount the Maple Boys.
The Maple Boys.
Excuse me while I hit this chug jug.
Chug jug.
Yeah, that's most of it.
Well,
I could dump way more photos of all the small details I've been doing, but
Everyone should start making under construction like shows, and then we'll coordinate them so that people have a release every day of the week. Like,
yep.
Maybe I should do that with the Hatterack.
do it. I would watch. I would tune in if I'm at work or something and you're doing it. Although we have very similar work schedules now, so that doesn't work anymore.
Mochi.
Well, okay. I meant TBA and I specifically.
I'm the exception.
Who's TBA?
I work at night, by the way, for the audience.
Working on the night shift.
Everybody's working.
With
We're
Where
working
the-
9 to 5.
My baby.
Yeah, maybe
That's what
the
three
next
hours?
route project that I start, I might do that. Because I'm too far in on the bank join, and everything would be out of context if I started it now.
Just remember, Milky, there is always prostitution.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's what the night shift is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milky has become an
After
individual
this,
of the night.
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
I've become a vampire, essentially.
Yeah, but a
Anyway,
vampire
I-
prostitute.
Yeah, vampire.
You can only come
I
inside if
brought-
you're invited.
Excuse me, sir. Keep it PG, please.
No, that's good.
What?
That's
That's
good.
just
Not
a-
in my Christian
That's just
server.
that's a normal tenet of being a vampire. You can't come into a
Yeah,
place
come
unless
on.
you're invited in.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Blah blah, I've come to suck your cock.
Okay, that's not PG.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Voice to text is making this even funnier than it is. Or
So
text
I-
to speech. Text to speech, not voice to text.
Dachshund, do you
Sure,
have
so
anything?
badly to laugh.
I've got way more than usual. Usually it's just tinkering in trains. I've actually
Tinkering in-
seen some stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
So, I think Friday. Friday, while we were on our way out to the Grand Canyon, we stopped in Williams, so I took some pictures of the stuff there. Shea boy.
the alleged stuff.
I mean, they have a Shea, and
Yep.
uh,
Well,
it's
yeah, but wasn't there a
282.
big debate about what was there and what wasn't there? Was that last episode? Or no, that was during War Chungus, maybe? I don't know. There was a debate about what was and wasn't in this at Flagstaff or Williams or whatever. Anyway, there's a Shea.
Can I post a picture of what happened in Derail Valley? What I did?
Sure, yeah, of course.
All right. So there's a little story behind it. Hold on, I need to go grab it. I really wanted to just go as fast as I could
Oh God.
because why not?
Well,
And so I got that 282 up to like 80 kilometers an hour, 90.
Laughing
Yeah, I
your
got it.
mind.
I got it to 90 kilometers an hour, and then I tore into a yard, and
okay, Dan.
Back to the Future music intensifies.
hold on. There it is. And this happened.
Oh no.
That's a fender bender. Oh, you know what I
Deja vu.
did? I multi-track drifted the Amtrak train at the Model Railroad Club last Saturday.
Wow.
LOL.
Just because
I
I
didn't
could.
know you could.
This is
Oh,
fantastic.
God.
I like how the front and rear
Anyway.
trucks are still on the tracks. You did it.
Yeah, the lead truck and the trailing truck are okay.
Close enough.
You're mostly on. You're not getting
Like, this
anywhere,
is-
but
Actually, no, I did. I put it into reverse, and it
oh no,
and it went back.
physics.
I know.
Yes.
I was like,
Your engine here is only mostly in the dirt.
I mean, it's technically still on the tracks. It's just on two tracks at the same time.
It's supposed to be only on one track at one time.
Anyway, so on Saturday, while we were at the Grand Canyon, I took some pictures of the trains while they were parked. We didn't ride them because we booked a hotel about halfway between Williams and the canyon, but I still saw them. And then yesterday we went to we stopped by Boulder City and went to the Railroad Museum there on our way back to Vegas. So I saw a couple of tiny boys and also rode in the cab.
F40s.
They do.
Yeah.
They have veg
Boulder
40s.
City.
Oh, and I also rode in the cab of UP844, but the GP30.
God damn it.
Nice.
I got a cab ride at 844.
I mean, hey, it was only $35, so.
Where was
You know what? I went. If I go down there, I want to do that. Cab ride in 844.
Yeah, but don't take any
Just to
pictures
save
and don't
that
tell
time.
people which one it was.
Yep. Of course.
Here's me looking dumb sitting in the cab.
Don't fall out the back.
Did you
No.
say you into engine?
We've been in.
Oh, no. I didn't even
Yo,
know
look
it was
at the,
there
like,
until after we left.
Look at the person just like creeping in with their one eye in the door.
Yeah.
So, didn't we go in a GP30? Was that the engine we went in at the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum? I can't really remember. I think it was a GP30. It was something. It was a diesel.
Which engine?
You said which engine?
The Conrail one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Conrail boy.
Yes.
Yes. GP30.
Okay. I'm glad you remember that. I know I can always count on you for diesels.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Well,
When
I
we
only
drove back.
3 days ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot you were there. Damn it. That undermines my dumb argument.
LOL.
Alright, sorry. Dachshund.
I almost forgot. We took historic Route 66 back up to Vegas, and for a good half the route or more, it parallels the BNSF main line, so I saw like 5 or 6
Oh
trains.
man, so much foam.
Yeah. They were, like, all of them were intermodals without fail.
Well, and if you don't know
Oh,
what an
and then-
intermodal is, you can go reread that thing from earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that reminds me again, on the way out, we got in a traffic jam on, I think it was I-40, and I used my binoculars that I had
Oh, I
with
see.
me to spy on the BNSF main line that was a little ways away. There was a Ferromex engine on one of the trains.
See, that's something I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen a Ferromex engine. Anyway,
First, I
alright.
thought it was. Oof,
See,
wait.
it's people like you that make railroaders scared of foamers.
Dun 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 dun.
I'm a filthy foamer. Sue me.
Oh, we know. But it's okay.
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
Yeah.
It's time for...
Locomotive versus.
Yeah.
That's
Locomotive.
underwhelming.
No, it's good. It's all we're gonna get.
Yep.
Wait, no, hold on.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
everybody be quiet. I want Wiebot to say this one thing.
Locomotive versus.
No, never mind. With your mouth. You can do it.
Locomotive versus.
Yay!
There we go.
Hey.
We're proud of you.
Also, you're underwhelming.
Yay, Wiebot! Woo!
AFK.
That's his...
We killed Rival.
that's his...
I need to disappear for 10 minutes. Sorry.
Oh, for God's sake.
What?
You're
Oh,
part of this.
Damn it.
The skeleton.
I know.
Part of it. Alright, well, we're vamped. Go do whatever you need to do. Go take a dump or
Okay.
whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's the horrible disease that Wiebot has. We call it Rio Grande syndrome.
Rio Grande.
Yeah, Rio
According to
Grande
his
syndrome,
Texas
and
feed.
it slowly kills you by taking away your voice, and then you die in a boiler explosion.
Oof.
Cursed engine.
Yeah. I guess he's away from his keyboard, so he can't type, so he has to talk.
Yes, and it hurts.
So stop talking. I just wanted the viewers to understand that one thing. It would make it worth it. It was, you know, just one little thing, just that, and now we're good. You don't have to talk anymore.
Yep.
Anyway, so
I forgot to mention the speeder sack in one of the screenshots. I made that.
Speeder
That's
what?
mine.
Oh, Shaq. Yeah.
Yeah, sack.
So you said speeder sack, and I was like, oh,
Oh my!
D's nuts.
It's a big plastic bag that's inside of it,
Yeah.
or paper, depending on where.
Yeah. Plastic
Paper or
bags.
plastic. Yeah.
Or just a canvas tote bag, because, reusability is good for you.
Fine too.
I live off tote bags. Although I have too many. Nobody give me anything. Anyway. So, I am working on a lot of the textures down in Mason Valley right now. And I'm making decent progress. It does take some time, because of course it does. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be done with there almost sooner than I expect. And that means like 90% of what I have left is trees.
I forgot to talk about something.
What?
Since we're talking about, you're talking about Tolburn and trains. Oh wait, I did talk about it.
Oh wait.
I was good. I want to rebuild the Hatterack.
Yeah.
TBA plugging its.
Well, the more you talk about it, the less you're gonna
Yeah.
the less you're gonna to work on it. I want you to work on it and then talk about it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I have an entire history of a railroad that isn't even built yet.
I need to focus, man.
Yeah. No, I on the other hand, have the, whatever the railroading equivalent of the Duolingo bird is, making me work on Tolbrin for 2 hours every week.
Yeah.
Please help. He has my family.
Here's another screenshot from my route. Shameless plug. This is about 5 miles outside Bologna, which is the north end of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an abandoned lumber mill there, and this is right next to it.
It's nice. I like tasteful use of abandoned track.
Yeah, I've been trying to incorporate a little bit of environmental storytelling into the route.
Yeah. Take some Bethesda hints.
Yeah, and do them. JK.
I got into a discussion with people at the Model Railroad Club about route building, particularly actual model railroad building, because that's just what we were discussing. And, you think about it, and it's like, especially if you're building a more modern route, you're going to have a lot of abandoned industry, but you don't ever want to sacrifice space on your route for something that isn't, if you have an industry, you're going to want to be able to serve it, because it gives your route more functionality. But at the same time, if abandoned industry is really appropriate, then, what are you going to do? It's like, oh god, I could make this look really cool and realistic and whatever, and, the way it is, or I could have these industries that may or may not make sense.
Yeah.
I guess there isn't as much of a problem with that in a virtual model railroad because you have so much damn space, but...
Yeah, I know I kept that in mind with this, because I have 2 mills and 3 or 4 forestries on the line that aren't abandoned.
Wood.
Yeah, wood. But it's eventually going to be a part of a much bigger railroad.
Someday.
Yeah, someday. That's why I'm kind of doing these ground signs out in the middle of nowhere, so I can eventually build. Well, I guess it gives me incentive to build towards them.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, after I'm done with this, and I very well might just put it up on the DLS as a separate route and then merge it later, depending on how it turns out in 2019.
I'll rate it.
Yeah. I know you will. You were the reason why I started doing more work on it.
I'll rate anything. Give me anything.
But after this, I'm either going to return to the Westford and Brightford Railway, or I might do another branch sign, because I'm really enjoying that.
I really hope you don't get back to the Westford and Brightford and be like, I should redo this. Because I feel like that's what happens when you take a break from these routes sometimes. You come back to an area and it's like, this looks bad.
I was already to that point when I stopped, when I took the break.
Time
So
to break out the nukes.
yeah, I need to do something fresh and new.
Westerford and Brightford 2. It was already electric,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so how many screenshots do I have? So
Yeah. I don't ever take screenshots of my routes because everything's cataloged on video and uploaded to the internet.
this is true.
I guess
I
actually,
have
that's
this.
not true. I do take 2 screenshots after every episode and post them in photo dump so that people can see like a preview of what I worked on and like an overview of this is how much I did. You know, sometimes it feels like, oh wow, I did so much, and you look at it and it's like, oh, I did, 100 square yards, or just something insignificant that I just spent tons of time on. Or it's like, oh, maybe I didn't do that much. It's like, oh, I did half of this area. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty goo.
This is the bank's roundhouse. Before I weeded the trees, but I add a whole bunch of small details. Like there's crates. There's a building there. There's a tank behind the building for building bunker C.
Oh, okay, like that kind of tank, not like a...
Yeah, fuel tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was gonna be
And
like,
I
why'd
also
you put that back there?
I also have a coaling tower, or not coaling tower, like a coyoter in front of the roundhouse.
Tipple is the word you're looking for, I think.
Tipple, yeah. Yeah, I suppose that works.
Yeah.
And I don't have many screenshots of it, but I went through to all my stations and added
What'd you add?
animate people.
Oh, yay. Oh, man,
I
TVA...
got a few
Dude, you came into my... I was just screen sharing the other day, and you watched the train pull up to the station building in Mason Valley, and you were like,
Yeah.
this is why I don't do that. It didn't even pull up to the station all the way, and I was like, yeah, because the invisible platform's halfway down the line over here.
Ooh.
Because that station building is just a building. It's not a station. It's not an industry.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
In fact, almost everything on my route is done by invisible platforms.
Ooh.
But, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, Because
yeah, that's true.
you can do a lot with them, and it lets me use a wide range of other buildings.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I'm stuck with the CNI buildings because they just kind of fit the Northwest pretty well.
They also look good.
Yeah.
If you don't need that many of them, I'm trying not to have duplicate stuff on Tolbrin, which is, of course, going to be completely impossible. But,
oh yeah, I know the feeling. Just look at my 2 towns. Or, well, not even... I suppose I have 5 towns on my route, but Dave's Snow Building is my go-to. Okay, welcome back.
Alright, so, let's do Locomotive Versus then. In one corner, we have... Can I have pictures of these 2 engines, please, from the contenders?
Yes.
We have...
I have both of them.
Little River, number 110.
Okay, wait.
An engine that I learned about today. And in the other corner, we have... Everyone knows it. That fender-bending, beautiful bastard.
Okay, hold on. Let me just
Bill
grab
Weber
my
1.6.
The 12-wheeled meme machine.
Exactly.
Thank you, Wiebot. Very.
Wow,
very
okay,
good.
you know what? This might be the smallest Pacific I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It
this
is.
is the smallest
Sorry.
standard gauge Pacific.
Sorry.
It's so cute.
Yeah, the smallest standard gauge Pacific I've ever seen. I've seen much smaller Pacifics.
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Hold on, let me just...
Well, alternatively, I've got
Modern
this picture of Skookum.
Oh no.
It's my favorite.
Is
Oh,
this,
that's a Google search. Ew.
is this one with twisted up valve gear?
No. It's better than that.
-1 point for origami valve gear, once again. Ew, why did they do that?
Logging railroads, my friend.
Ew. Yeah, logging
Because
railroads,
my beer.
logging railroads do consistently horrible things to locomotives. This has not changed my opinion of that at all.
I don't mind it.
I'm really
But-
sorry, but in like 15 minutes I'm gonna have to jet.
You serious?
God damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he is on
I
the
thought I'd be able to stay longer, but then it took 40 minutes to get started.
Sorry.
I find its lack of symmetry displeasing.
It's fine.
Well,
But let's just try and get through as much as we can, I guess.
alright, it's time to do Locomotive Versus. I am going to award the first hit to the Little Pacific.
Alright, let's do this. Okay. Stay in my lane. Driver wheelbase.
Driver wheelbase. 5.33. 5.33.
8.33.
Ooh.
Damn it. I
Don't
thought I
forget,
could count both.
you're dealing with a Malay.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got 2 little driver sets.
I thought of both
Articulated
driver
step.
sets as one set. Damn it. I screwed myself.
Congratulations.
Good. Okay, what is the Roko base ID?
God damn it.
5134.
4069.
Oh wow, those are both
Damn it.
very high, but Milky wins.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
Shit. God damn that. What's the boiler pressure at?
Boiler pressure. 180.
200.
Ooh,
Damn. It's time to.
go skook 'em.
Yep.
Guess I'll die.
What is your tender water capacity?
Water capacity. 3,500 gallons.
4,000.
I'm amazed. These guys look like they have identical tenders, but I guess not.
Scook gun, give it to
thought
Yak.
Okay, what is your fuel capacity?
Tons.
6 tons.
Okay, I have a little bit of a disposition for this, but I was built with a coal burner, and it does list my tons for that. 7 tons.
God damn it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I shouldn't be cursing this. I want Skooku to win, but
How could you do this?
I like Skook.
I'm getting spooked.
You kidding
Are
Yeah,
me?
these
you can.
standard gauge locomotives?
Yes.
Yeah, they're both standard gauge.
Wow.
They're small
Somehow.
standard gauge engines. Even Skookum is not
Yes.
that big. Alright, Moki,
Alright,
Small.
continue.
What is your what on drivers?
I know it's here somewhere. 72,000.
Wow. Okay. 129,800.
Why did you think you were going to win that?
I know.
Alright, Little River, Little Pacific.
Oh, Pacific step.
Alright. Engine
Shake's
weight.
head.
Engine weight. 162,650.
109,000.
Oh, small.
Tender loaded weight.
Yeah, about to be my trap card. 80,350. Trap card.
Damn it, 90,000.
Yes!
How?
Why is yours heavier but smaller?
Excuse me, sir?
Excuse me,
I
WTF?
hold more than he does.
I know.
I'd like a refund.
You can't refund this.
Ooh.
All purchases are final.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All
All
versus.
trans-
How does matter work?
How does matter work?
That's how Mafia works.
Yeah.
Do you? This is a dumb question, but do you have high pressure cylinders?
High pressure.
Yes, he does. He does. He has high pressure cylinders. Everyone has high pressure cylinders.
Yes.
He doesn't have low.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Good.
He's not a British
so-
compound engine.
What's your high pressure cylinder?
Unfortunately,
16 by 22.
Damn, 15 by 22.
How 1522?
Okay.
I'm getting scooped.
I think I'm safe doing this because I think
Oh,
I was
awesome.
so much lighter than you. Okay.
Yeah.
Total engine intensity.
243,000 pounds.
199,000.
Oof.
Yep.
Minimum weight of rail.
54 pounds.
40.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Engine
Yeah.
wheelbase.
Engine wheelbase? 33 feet.
23.33.
Oh, it's an extremely small boy.
Yes. Okay.
How are these standard gauge?
This is where it starts to get dicey.
Yep.
It's 6-6. You guys are tied up.
Yep.
Builder.
Baldwin.
Damn it, Baldwin.
What? What? Okay, Milky has the ball. I don't know why you asked for that.
They're smaller than 91 in like every regard.
God damn it. Skookum versus...
What's your chapter, Bethard?
Tractive effort. 18,334.
Not much.
4,600.
I'm assuming I lost.
Yeah, I said,
Yeah.
I heard Milky say like 100 and something. How much did you say, Milky?
24,600.
And yours was?
Yeah. 18,000.
Yeah, okay. Who's like clicking?
Yes,
Who's making
you
noise?
lost.
Does anyone else
Firebox
hear that?
area.
Who's popping?
Okay, I think I'm back.
What is that popping sound?
100
I
square
hear
feet.
it.
TB.
It wasn't
Who's
TBA.
popping?
Okay, firebox area. In the meantime,
100.
106.
Oh, for God's sake.
Are you kidding me?
Way to be those guys, Little River. Wait a minute, can it do it to itself?
Again, it heard itself in confusion. Great area.
30 square feet.
Wait, what?
If you could do that, you'd never have to leave the
Can
house.
you repeat that?
30 square feet.
God damn it. 28.3.
28 square feet! Guys, I have a locomotive versus idea.
Pitifully small.
Skookum versus you win a 51.
Oh
Factor
no.
adhesion.
Oh no. Oh no, I've been avoiding this one. 5.2.
Skookum vs. a roller skate would be a better fight.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Sorry. It's 3.93 though. I gotta go. Really
Oh,
sorry.
damn.
Okay.
Alright. Well,
Let me know how it goes.
does anyone want to pick up the torch? Or TBA, do you want to pick up the
Sorry.
No.
torch? Alright, I guess I'm doing
I
Little River
nominate
then.
Ellis.
Alright, well,
I
I won that one.
Yeah, you.
Let's see. Alright, now I need to look over these things and figure out where the hell we are. Okay, I'm probably not gonna win that one.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna win that one. I can almost
Yep.
certainly win this one, though.
Okay.
Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
435.6.
Damn it, I went 4 cylinders, I forgot you were compound. Alright, I'm
Yeah.
324.63.
Does that use both cylinders?
It gives him like a bonus if he's a compound, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, what's your evaporative heating surface?
Oh man, I was avoiding that one. 1662.
1959.
Alright.
Combined.
Combined. It's the same thing, god damn it. 1662.
Yep. Same. 18. Wait. 1959.
God damn it. I need to get the ball back now.
You don't build much of cylinders, so that isn't applicable.
Yep, that's not helpful to us.
What? Well, we done everything up here for the most part,
Ooh, I'd lose that real hard.
except for this. But I'm pretty sure that wouldn't work in my favor, so I'm not going to do that. Wobber de Messina's power
Oh boy,
company.
here we go. 5,400.
Bap up AAA.
Oh my god.
5,660.
God damn it. It's very close. Alright, well that's 20 points.
Same as above plus superheater.
5,400.
Okay, 5660.
Yep.
Same as above, but substitute firebox area for grade area.
18,000.
21,200.
Oh man.
Tower L1.
5954.
Ooh. 3764.
Ha ha ha! Get wrecked.
F again.
Did we do... Oh, well that doesn't help. That also doesn't help.
There's something that helps.
There's
but-
not much left for me.
F
No,
ad
but
infinitum ad
there is
astra.
something, but I'm not going to say what it is.
I just heard Wiebot's going into Minecraft.
Yeah, Wiebot. Wiebot.
No, I'm not.
Wiebot a point,
Wiebot.
please.
You're craxy.
Alright, well, I know nothing about this engine. So style
well.
points really doesn't help me.
But
I'm gonna just go to style.
there is one more point. Oh, you're going to style.
I'm just gonna go to
okay.
style point, because screw it. Although, I do want to know power MT.
Power MT for me is 255.62.
Holy cow, my power MT is almost double that, 564.93.
So that thing that I was aborting, that I was referencing, you built
Oh, year built, 1911.
1909.
Alright.
Yeah. I knew.
I
you
didn't
knew.
actually. I figured you were. I figured you were younger. Oh well, neither of those count. Yeah. Dawson
Okay,
says he had a bunch of style points. Well, it sucks because I don't know anything about this engine.
I'm not helping this week.
I'm not helping this week.
Well, I mean,
Shredding.
I've gone cross country in my career.
yep, that's pretty good. All right, this is the part where you kill me. Just do
I
it.
started out life in Tennessee, and then made it all the way to Washington,
Mhm.
and then fell on my side and got recovered.
Scoop gun give it to Yat.
Oddly enough, derailment saved me from being scrapped.
Mhm.
And then I went to several different railroad museums until I got fired up a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Does my engine currently run?
Yeah, I believe it does.
They both run. Do either of us have a trains model?
There's people working on Skookum
Yes.
and 110.
Okay.
Skookum has one.
Okay.
110 also has one being worked on.
I found a
It's
thing.
called Strains. But
What? Okay, Train Boy is working on a better one.
Okay.
No.
I want Train Boy to finish his.
Skookum has a Pulse Trains model.
Wait, what? Paul, I don't want to go on Paul's trains to check that, but
It's a
I'll
I
trap.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, we both have doors. We're very similar.
But I had it way back when.
There are two very similar.
I don't. Wait, do you have doors?
I do, in fact, have doors. The picture I have is the door open.
Oh, okay. All I'm finding of viewing service don't have doors, but I guess you have them now, so that counts.
Well, I have it in this picture. I know nothing about this engine. Do I? No, I don't have more air reservoir space, so that's yours.
I'll give you a few points in chat.
Oh, okay. A blind center driver. That's extremely
Yeah, that's good.
extremely nimbile.
Yeah. I'll give
Old
it that.
final steam train on the Little River and Smoky Mountain, on the Little River and the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains don't have steam anymore?
I'm not sure, but yeah, they do. They do. They have an
I'll
S-160.
take the one for the Little River, I guess.
I'm gonna figure out if Skookum pulled the last train on its jogging railroad.
Did a quintuple header. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's...
Why? I'll keep backwards.
Why what?
I don't know why I'm backwards, Bible.
It's backwards.
Sure, I don't understand.
Okay, wait, what? There's a separate page. Oh, wait.
The accent is backward at bottom center.
I don't know why his thing is backwards.
Makes no difference, but bothers me.
Such is life.
Yep. Okay.
Well,
Mildly annoying.
oddly annoying. Well, not sure what to do about
Told
that.
to...
Extremely small
Oh.
Pacific gets hammered by the Skook.
Famous Skookum, yeah. Trying to figure out... Oh.
I don't feel bad, but I don't think this thing was bound for glory anyway.
Oh, Deep River stopped running trains after they derailed Skookum off of the bridge.
Oof.
And they just came up to the insurance company, and then she got picked up by a whale fan, and here we are talking about her.
Yep. And also, the valve gear
Can
was...
we get a point for not having to lap articulated N-word heads on the Pacific?
Sure.
Okay.
And how
Make it
N-word
so.
heads. I didn't understand what he said for a minute.
That's what they're called.
I know. I didn't quite understand what the word was that you were trying to say.
I don't even
there.
understand. I don't. Wait, what? Can, like, you put it in the chat?
Times
if
are
it's-
different, winky face.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, do I have different hair?
Can you, like, type it in chat? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an N-word head.
No.
It's
Oh.
it's something to do with articulateds.
Okay.
It's just it's bits of engine.
It's the casting that goes between the dry pipe and branch pipes.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I don't know how on earth it got that name. I'm not sure I want to know, as a matter of fact. Anyway.
Like Skookum?
No, not Skookum.
And
I do want to know
will.
how Skookum got that name, and I'm going to give Skookum a point for being called
I
Skookum.
would guess Indians.
Okay.
It would be my best guess, but I wonder if the steam locomotive page was framed.
Sleepy bird.
No.
No,
Maybe.
not yet.
Anyway.
Well, I'm going to write Skookum by the points, because
Dying Robo Y.
I'm not coming back from this.
Yeah,
And I don't know anything
Oh.
about this engine.
Wait,
I'll take it.
wait.
What?
You have a cute little step on the side of the pilot. That's kinda
Okay.
cool.
Okay,
I do have a... You're
That is
right, I
style.
do.
that is style.
I do have a cute little step on the side of the pilot. Alright, well that makes it 13-18.
Is Skookum winning?
Yes.
Alright.
And I think we should just call it. We have a lot of news
Yo,
anyway.
wait. The Pacific gets a style point for white walls.
Where does it have white walls?
Are these white walls?
Where?
Right here.
Picture. Send picture.
Send picture.
Send news.
Send, you
Okay.
scumbag. It won't send. There it goes.
Then I have a counter to that.
Is it
I
like...
believe it has them in preservation.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
I have a green border jacket.
Yeah.
Also, Skookum is green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's minus 1 point.
God damn it, Milky.
Alright, well, it's 14-19.
What is it? There's something about this. The compressors on the Pacific I think it's like a.
I
Is
think
this a style point? Look at the compressors. I don't remember.
Is it? Milky has a
Uh,
power reverse. Do I have a power reverse?
I-
No, I don't. Damn it.
and I think I have. I'm trying to think of the name of the dual air.
Yeah, cross compound. Is that what you're thinking of? A cross compound?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 2 single
The
stages.
Pacific has 2 single-stage air pumps, nothing special.
Oof.
Rip.
I mean, it's nice to have a backup.
Does have,
All right.
and here's the photo.
F.
Oh, wait. Ah.
I'm. Stop! I'm already dead. Oh, I didn't give myself the point.
Stop.
All right. Anyway, we can all agree that the Little River Railroad ordered some kind of weird engines. And
I tried.
I wonder what the rest of their roster was,
Also
because
stupid.
they ordered another engine like Skookum, apparently,
God.
because Skookum couldn't take their curve.
Yo,
so
wait.
That Baldwin said, "Hey,
What?
Hey,
What?
can 110 get a point for being with 4449, 765, and presumably another big engine?
We give it a point
No.
that it was in a quadruple header.
yeah,
Look at this. Look at this.
I like
Quintuple.
Was it in a quintuple header? Damn son.
Is that 1225?
That is. Yep.
Can 110 get a point for being with those engines?
Nah.
No.
that. Yeah.
This
But-
is
because
a great
here's the-
assemblage though. I like the
That's really a really cool picture.
I like the
You're
lineup
1225.
I like the lineup of normal
Yeah.
size engines and then 110.
Yep. I
Who's to
can't
say
wait
that
until,
110 isn't a normal sized engine?
The other engines next to it.
Yep. Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Now you know how I feel always.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke
Dang.
like that, but I didn't want to.
LOL.
Because usually I'm the butt of that joke.
Oof. I can't wait to see Skookum on Niles Canyon. That's gonna be
I want to
fun.
see Scoop
Yeah,
at
We'll
all.
say Madison is for now.
She's not here though.
Oof.
Anyway, alright, let's vote. Skookum wins 20-14. We gotta take down Skookum. I have some ideas. I don't think the skunk train's gonna do it, but, we can always
No.
try.
I
Skunk.
vote,
Skunk.
I vote for the Pacific.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's adorable.
I guess I can't vote because I played, but I would vote for the Skookum.
And
I
Doc-
vote for the
yeah.
Pacific as well.
Oh, wait, really?
It's
I
so
think
cute.
Wiebel.
It's so cute.
Alright, fine then. The Pacific wins the vote 2-2.5.
Johnson just brought up the 110 model. Yeah, there's the Skookum Model 2 being made.
2-2.5.
I'll go grab it real fast.
Alright, anyway, alright, we've got a lot of news to cover this week, so let's some
Oh,
of
yeah.
us, the ones that can talk about news.
Okay.
It's okay.
So I've been talking a lot about games, and I'm not sure how this made the news section, but well, maybe it's newsworthy because it's a big
Yeah.
Run 8 release. But Run 8 released the Bakersfield subdivision, which means they're getting closer to Sacramento. They're getting closer to Roseville, which is right next to where I live. They released
Yep.
the Bakersfield sub, so it means that goes to, I believe it runs all the way up to Stockton. No, to Fresno. Runs
Yeah,
all the way to
Fresno.
Fresno.
Oh, damn. I need
Apparently
dispatch.
they already. Yeah. Apparently they already have Diamond Pass.
So
done, too,
this
so
here-
they're gonna probably add that.
I mean, there is already a screenshot of locomotives in Roseville.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I can't wait. It's my favorite local in
Also,
California.
this-
It's the Roseville Fresno.
This line here is what they've done. What they just released is basically the Highway 99 corridor. So it's just a straight shot from Bakersfield to Fresno, like speed and fast freights,
Yep.
intermodal.
And also
You know,
the
it's
Noise.
the whatchamahoo it, right? The was it San Joaquin out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the San Joaquin's.
I
Amtrak.
rode that.
Yes, you did.
I-
Weibold wrote out a paragraph. What was he trying?
Joaquin.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of segways, that even Soup, the Durango, and Silverton bought a bar in Durango to use as their new offices.
They did.
Very good for them. But bad for the crews that have lost their favorite place to violate Rule G. I'm half surprised Al has the money for something like this after last year.
Here's another
Okay.
great piece of news about the DNS and other things. Because DNS is owned by American Heritage Railways, right?
Yes.
They just hired a dude to be their new VP and to cultivate freight service on their railroads.
Which vexes me.
Yeah, a little weird, but hey, what are you gonna do? I think it's awesome.
Yep.
It is.
But yeah, they've got the Great Smoky Mountains, they've got the Mount Rainier, they've got the DNS. I think they're just trying to make more money.
Yeah.
But the DNS unfortunately is not part of the freight stuff, only the standard gauge.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you're telling me a
Disappointed!
boxcar of manure being shipped from Durango to Silverton doesn't count?
What freight traffic would there be on the DNS?
I don't know. Count
Something. Well, if they
That there
save
isn't.
Juan,
Save one.
Sure.
listen, I have ideas. I have thoughts about this. They should hire me. I've got no good ideas, but you know,
That's
I also
true.
have ideas,
I,
but maybe if I become a volunteer at ORF, I can express my good ideas. Like speaking of ORF, Doyle McCormick is retiring as president.
no.
I heard
Chum.
about this. That's actually
Chum.
Yeah, so he's not pulling away from the organization. He's just retiring as president.
Yeah, retiring, quote unquote. He's retiring like Lynn Moedinger is retiring.
Yeah. On the plus side, he's gonna have more time to work on his PA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
retiring.
Which apparently he has a few mechanical things to do with that before it runs again. Because
Actually, Let's gone. Like, super gone for the time being.
Well, he has to make his
Yeah, that's
retirement
good.
official, right?
Yeah. And then there's the Trains magazine article pretty much saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But
If he works anywhere for like a year, it violates his retirement.
congrats. Yeah. But
His
congrats,
NO
Doyle,
coach is beautiful.
on your years of service as president of ORF. You helped get them out of the White House.
Yeah, he's been really good.
yeah.
He's done some awesome stuff.
Yes,
And
congrats to an incredible legacy, Mr. MC
Yeah.
Cormick.
MC Corbin. Hell yeah. That stands for Minecraft.
Goddamn it, computer.
Anyway, I
they
can't
work,
really
and
say
like,
from Minecraft to anything, but
I can't, but I can segue off the board and something.
what else is in Oregon, Milky?
Skookum!
Oh no.
Yeah,
not again.
charter. And it was pretty good. Pretty good. They even had McLeod 25 and Polson Ogden 2 out for a few days. Well, while they were having fun with Skookum in the shop.
Yeah. What link is this?
Yeah. The Trains magazine one. Guessing from Skookum.
Oh, Skookum Lessons. Got it, yeah.
There were some excellent photos that came out of this charter, and there's quite a few of them in the Trains magazine one, but there's so many good pictures.
I would expect nothing less, honestly. Skookum is a gorgeous derp from every angle.
Yeah,
You know what else is a gorgeous derp from every angle?
I like the reflection shots.
oh yeah,
This beautiful goddamn rendering of 5550.
Yeah.
Yee.
Which the T1 Trust just recently posted on their Facebook page, and then on their website, which they finally updated. They are currently fundraising for They're currently manufacturing the front tube sheet, I believe, and they're fundraising for dry pipes or the dry pipe and tubes and stuff like that. They're starting to do some interior of the boiler work to basically fill in those 3 big courses that they ordered and have now.
It's a series of tubes.
It is. It's many, many tubes. You know what else is many, many tubes? Actually, that doesn't really work because Wiebot cannot type that fast. He can type pretty fast, but because Wiebot got all the 168 stuff, and it starts off with a series of tubes.
Speaking of the middle of nowhere, the Cumbers and Toltec has finished putting tubes into the 168.
Cumbers.
Can't wait to see its thigh.
I assume.
Stothe.
But yeah, there's 5 different articles on 168. We got overloaded with 168 news.
Yo, this is dope.
What is?
I'm looking at the T1 Trust rendering.
It is gorgeous. It's awesome.
This is what Trains needs to do.
Yeah.
It's almost like Derail Valley.
Ooh, here's a good thing that we can connect to Doyle. Doyle McCormick, 4449. Nobody robs trains anymore. Except when they do. We have had a couple of, like, oh wow, nobody robs trains
Nice
anymore,
segue.
joking incidents over the past few years of this podcast. But this is a little different. This is, the conductor of a CSX train was confronted by a gunman and was told to give up everything that he has. Apparently this dude had hoboed himself on the train. I'm not sure if did he catch them in the cab? Oh yeah, no.
I did assume so.
He was beside the he was beside the train. He had stopped to check on something. And yeah, there was an engine with engine troubles. The engineer stepped out to stop and check something. I'm not sure if the engineer stepped out, but it says the conductor was reported he'd been confronted by a gunman. They replied that all he had was the yellow vest and the company radio. So, sheriff called in search dogs. They eventually found the guys. Some random dude from Wisconsin. He reportedly he told the investigators that he had planned to use the train to go to New Orleans.
Running to New Orleans.
He was running to New Orleans.
You're running to Mexico.
Yeah.
Running to the Gulf of Mexico. But seriously, this dude stuck up some actual CSX personnel and tried to steal a train. And almost mugged them, I guess. If this was GTA, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, Germany has
Scary.
versions of these people. Except they aren't armed gunmen. They are drunks. Because it's Germany. And the drunk, in this case, smashed his way into the cab of an ICE train and demanded that the driver slow down. The headline exactly is, drunk passenger breaks into driver's cab and demands that high-speed train slow down.
As you do.
Maybe he wasn't feeling too well. Maybe because he was drunk.
I want what?
Yeah.
Swath.
He was breathalyzed by officers and was found to have consumed a, quote, staggering amount of alcohol.
Look,
Staggering? Is that a pun?
No, he was super drunk.
He's legally drunk.
Yeah.
Leave this man alone.
He's legally drunk.
Leave this man alone.
He would stop breaking into stuff. And if you happen to be on one of these trains, particularly if you're on a subway, for example, because that's where these things sort of happen, and you find someone that smells really bad. Like, really, really bad. You do not pull the emergency brake. Someone, where was this? I think Toronto, by the looks of it. Yep, Toronto. Someone pulled the, the passenger assistance alarm because someone smelled really bad.
Wow.
Yes, don't pull the emergency brake, instead call 1-800-272-0911.
Yeah, they'll get rid of the
Yep.
stinky people in your life. Don't actually call that.
Yes.
For those who have not been around the podcast for years upon years, that's the Conrail emergency number. Yes, it still works.
Yeah, you know how I figured out how it
You
works?
called
'Cause
it.
I actually called it.
Yeah, we got a derailment here in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oof.
Conrail only exists in New Jersey, which makes sense because New Jersey's awful.
I think they're also in Philly.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, well, localities.
Yep.
Philly is cool though.
Yeah, Wiebot
Yeah.
went through Philly. He visited.
If not full of bums.
not full of bums.
I mean, you know.
But you know what is full of bums?
Oh no.
These abandoned, so-called abandoned rail cars in Pomona.
Oh god.
A homeless woman had to be rescued from a boxcar.
Because someone else homeless locked her in there, if I recall correctly.
A man who didn't want to be identified climbs into a. Oh,
Maybe she was.
You
Maybe she
stupid
wanted him
fox.
to rent her camera.
yeah, exactly. Why can't I read this article?
I don't know. You can't read anything these days. Everything's behind a freaking paywall.
Yeah, want a Dutch Wonderland, dearie?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how Weibel got eggs, actually.
Yeah, the Dutch Wonderland. I mean, we covered that at the beginning. Oh wait, was that? Oh, that wasn't during the show. That was before the show.
No. No.
Cursed 10-wheeler.
Cursed 10-wheeler. It is, in fact, cursed. Where did my Virgin
Okay.
Trains thing go?
I go off of curse.
But she's so adorable.
Yep.
And I love her.
Aww.
Oh, you talking about Lil Whipper?
No, he's talking about Lucy.
No.
You know what else is awful?
Oh.
Freight
CSX.
freight railroads that Amtrak has to deal with, not just
Yep.
CSX. And in
Yeah.
fact, this is an article on it, but I found the tweets themselves somewhere else. Amtrak went on a little bit of a Twitter rant at nobody in particular, just sort of freight railroads
Wendy style.
in general. You can look these things up. It was kind of amazing, but if you really want to experience cross-country rail, you can check out this rail car charter. For only a few grand, you can ride a private car from Penn Station in New York City to Denver in order to get out there and see 4014 and 844 on their little adventure. And
Wowzers.
if that wasn't enough, you could also see some of us.
Yep.
You know,
Woo.
yeah. I would pay a few grand to do that.
Speaking of
Run for your lives.
yeah. I have this Train Fan Casino article about the steam test. Apparently it went well.
It didn't blow up.
Yeah.
So, you know, good job, Ed Dickens.
That we know of.
That we know of.
That
I mean,
we
I feel
know.
like we'd know. I feel like that'd be a kind of difficult thing to hide. I'm gonna be honest.
For all we know, Cheyenne is gone.
I mean, no one lived there anyway.
What? All 5 residents made a stink.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah.
Anyway. So, Florida, right? We've talked about Florida Man before. We have talked about the escapades of Florida
Leech
Man.
suckers.
And typically, Florida Man gets killed by the true apex predator. No, it's not Mickey Mouse. It's Brightline Trains. But these days,
Haha.
that's not what you have to worry about. You have to worry about Virgins. Because
Haha.
Virgin Trains USA is taking over Brightline, as we have mentioned before.
Yep.
But the railroad will be undergoing a corporate rebranding and will become part of a network, as a matter of fact, in Florida. Also, Brightline, or Virgin Trains, I should say, as we've mentioned before, has aspirations to restore rail service on the LA to Las Vegas corridor, which is a little bit
Good.
far away, but, you know,
Yeah.
dream big.
You heard it here first, folks. Some idiots about to get pounded by virgins down in Florida.
Great.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm sure lots of school trips go down to Disney World. I'm sure lots of things happen on these school trips. I'm not privy to this kind of information, because I never did any of those.
I foresee lots of jokes.
Yeah. Man killed by
Ditto.
virgins. There's a joke about the 72 virgins in here somewhere, but I'm not going to go find it. Anyway. I'm going to...
72 mile per hour virgins.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, speaking of virgins, 611 has added more events at Strasbourg.
Oof.
So, you know, if you want to go and involve 611 and also meet members of the Terminus podcast.
Major hecking shade.
Well, you know, we're going to be there too, so... Or is that just like the, what is it called? The I can't find this word anymore.
Virgins.
No, not the virgin. The something that proves the rule,
Bjork.
whatever. The exception that proves the rule, that's what it is.
Swizzle.
Swizzle. Anyway, yeah, no, they've added 611 trips and whistle blows and at the throttle and all sorts of other stuff. Most opportunities sold out
Foam,
after
foam,
40.
foam.
Yeah, maximum foam.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
foam. I can't wait, honestly. It's exciting. I don't even care about 611 that much, but to add that to my foam resume is really the important thing to me.
Yeah.
Like seeing 844 and 44.
Photo am.
Because that's pretty cool.
Yes. Duh.
Duh.
Well, you know what else is going to be pretty cool to see?
Duh.
More trains on the White Paths.
Well,
Because they're building a new set of passing tracks in the loop at White Paths, which I believe is about halfway up the line from Stagway.
Yes.
So that's good. That will allow them to coordinate better with the cruise ship
No, you
schedules
said
now that they're owned by a cruise ship company.
Prepare your
You-
butts.
Prepare
you
you
said they're building a loop.
they're building a
Yeah.
passing track aside.
at White Paths.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's another word for a thing.
It's like
Wait.
a roller coaster loop.
now
Yeah.
I'm confused because
We.
when I wrote it, it took us up to this point to like the Canada border,
Yeah.
and
Clark Boss, I think.
yeah, I don't know, like the point when the railroad crosses into Canada, and they stopped the train on the Alaska side, and the engines run into Canada and run around the train on a separate track. So I'm just confused as to where this is.
I'll check real fast. But anyways, they're just adding more capacity. More room for
Fear of
more
monkeys.
capacity, which-
Either way,
Yeah,
like that's good for them, you know.
yeah, especially since it will allow them to grow with the increased amount of cruise ship passengers.
Yeah, they made a deal.
And they're going to have new engines, apparently.
Boo.
It's Carnival that bought them.
And,
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
They're
come
hoping
on,
to get them in
that's-
2020. The new locomotives are going to be larger and have enhanced horsepower.
Is there a picture of these engines?
They're going to be... The new engines are going to be rebuilt machines with more modern... Wait, what? With
More
more
3-foot
modern
gauge
and
F40S.
a...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
We're gonna get some 3-foot gauge F40s. Because why not?
Yeah.
Because that's not
Here's
bad
my
enough.
idea.
And
Here.
what they
White
really,
Pass is 20 miles in the railroad.
yeah, what they really need
Okay.
is a nice melee.
The Yukon border.
They
is,
need 51.
No.
Yes.
If
yeah,
anybody needs a new 51, it's White Pass and Yukon.
Anyways, Yukon border is 52 miles in.
Can I just kind of go off? Like, I think for obvious reasons, the trip to Skagway on my cruises to Alaska was my favorite.
Yeah.
Just,
Skag.
it's such a small little town that literally, that railroad is pretty much that whole town. Like, without that
Yeah.
railroad, that town would not be there. As
At
is the
Silverton.
case for, like, Silverton, too. But, like, as is the case for many, many towns, without the railroad, the towns wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But, like, there's just something special about Skagway, Alaska, and, I was sitting on the balcony of my cruise ship, and I'm watching these trains just go off into the mountains, and then I saw the steam train go off. About 20 minutes later, you just hear the echoing of the whistle from up in the mountains, and it was
That's
so
really cool.
cool. It was so cool.
I can't wait
Explosive
to go
dinner
up
plate
there.
sounds.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, like, it's expensive, but if you ever get the chance, take the chance.
Horseman
Go
trip
to
someday.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Go to Skagway. Ride the White Pass and Yukon. It's the
And then-
ride of a lifetime. It's incredible.
So,
Sure, it's
something that I would also try and do is if the
And be
river's
prepared
going
to
up.
jump at any given moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Ooh.
Yes,
Um,
pretty much.
Well,
Dude,
the
he
White
was
Pass,
so close to the edge.
Yeah. The White Pass has improved a
Joke.
little bit in track work since World War II when they were having a derailment every day, it seemed.
But have they though? But
Marginally.
have they? Yeah.
Marginally, yeah.
No.
But I kind of want to go through there when the Wibbers will with a metal detector, but that's a side story.
I mean, I feel like
And go find me some engines.
the important stuff you don't need a metal detector for.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Probably,
it's just there.
yeah. But anyways, that's that. Speaking of things,
I want to
up
go
north,
along there on a handcart, wearing nothing but bubble wrap.
Nothing but bubble wrap. That's a horrifying thought.
Yes.
Whaleway Heritage Park, the people
It's
that
my
own
kink.
the...
Don't kink shame him. You better not kink shame him.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't do that
Unless your kink is kink shaming, in which case.
Yeah.
Weird flex, but okay.
here. But anyways,
Okay.
Whaleway Heritage Park, which owns the CP Royal Hudson 2860, recently purchased the BC Whale Squamous Sops.
Squamish.
That's cool. Half of it was from private donations, and half of it was from the federal government.
Canada.
So, yeah, Canada. I think these stops are parallel to the current facility, which, according to this aerial, seems to be the case. That's cool. So now they got a roundhouse and the stop.
Cool. Turn it into another steam haven. Let's get another one going.
Yeah, right?
Give me steam.
Fire up the Royal Hudson again.
The blessed
Yeah, the bread.
or the royal.
Uh,
That's the royal. The blessed's the other one.
Bulldozer.
Yeah, we need the bulldozer.
Coming back to the White Pass. White Pass 61 has an update. Some people came down from the CACs and DNFs to do work on her.
Staffy.
Yeah. They began spring wigging disassembly. The treads are almost complete on the last triber. And, oh well, it just seems that more progress is going on with that engine. Which is good.
Yeah.
It's a sample of, you can take an engine that was situated in the river for 30 years and restore it.
Cough 20.
Golf trunks. Yeah.
Oh, poor Twitty. But also Skookum.
Yeah.
I like Skookum.
Except for
I like
Skookum was
Skookum's
on-
story better. Skookum's story is every time you think they've done something right, they screw something up. But every time you think they've screwed something up, they've done something right.
Yep. And
It's the most Skookum story that could ever be.
speaking of things being screwed up,
Oh no.
there's a train horn complaint going on here in Albany
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
by some local business owner. I know the business. I've been to it.
You should just gift him a set of headphones, or
AirPods.
no,
My-
not
my-
actual ones you used to mow the lawn.
My rebuttal is, if you have a problem with the trains and the train horns, then go away, because the trains aren't going
Especially-
anywhere. Why are you going to complain about something that's not going? It's like, come on.
When your business, it's right next to the main crossing of the yard.
Well, sometimes moving a
Give him an
business
air
isn't all
horn
that
so he
helpful.
can honk
and
back.
I mean, if it's a business, then
It's a business.
then suck it
It's a
up.
business. Yeah.
No, but
Right.
seriously, is it that hard to say, hey, quiet it down? Especially if it's right outside the yard, if it's a low speed crossing, if it's got gates, if it's got lights,
But they don't even blow it.
Give him an air horn so he can honk back.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you like that? But
I just think it's dumb, and that's my opinion. Because I know
You're dumb.
this.
oof,
I know this crossing. I know how they blow for this crossing. They're fine.
a lot.
It's FIA. It's only 2 FIA spec.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort
And
of.
I
I
think
don't know. I just-
Firestone would.
Or like
More
the people
People get hit often at this crossing.
So the
I
horn
don't think
clearly
it's quite-
doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't save anyone.
Yeah. ...
I don't know, like
But anyways,
Looking
he
at you,
is
Florida.
Looking at you.
he has gone to the railroad, and the answer he usually gets is that train horns are a federal issue, which is correct.
Well,
And then he went to the city council with it. City council basically told him the same thing,
Yeah.
but they look into it.
well, I mean, at least he's just trying to go through the means to, trying to
Yeah.
get quiet up. I know we're rail fans, but if we weren't, and if we had to deal with train horns a lot, it would get annoying, and it would get disruptive, especially, what kind of business is this?
YAAM.
What?
Milky, you mentioned
automobile repair shop.
people get hit with
YAAM.
that crossing.
Oh.
Yeah.
A 79-year-old Massachusetts woman was killed by an Amtrak train on Monday.
Ooh.
Yep.
When,
F.
well,
The Lakeshore Limited specifically, I believe.
F.
Yeah.
The granddaughter was okay.
Well,
I
yeah, if I recall, the older woman shoved her granddaughter out of the way of the train. They were crossing at an unsanctioned location.
oh,
And this little girl is what you call trauma.
Yeah.
so the granddaughter's
That's
like shoving her
horrible.
out of the way of the speeding train as it rushed towards them. On the way home from shopping, when they crossed the tracks at an unauthorized point, and the train came bearing down on them. Huh.
Yeah, I like how the article is very much phrased so that the train is the bad guy.
That's terrible, though.
It is awful.
No, like
and,
it sucks.
Literally, this girl watched her grandmother get crushed under a train. Literally, she saw
Ah.
that. It's going to be, not crushed under a train, flung, I guess.
Exploded.
Yeah. Well, no, this was the
it's
Lakeshore
kind of
Limited. It
the
wasn't
same
going
way-
that fast.
Yeah. It's kind of the same way when you're the crew of that train and you.
Yeah,
just
no,
see that.
it's awful for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And allegedly, I think according
Trains
to the article,
sneak up on ya, though it's not like they have set paths where they come from
Yeah.
and go to.
yeah, no,
Yeah. That's true.
people just like to cross the tracks.
It isn't funny.
It's not funny. And if I recall from the article, this town has like they have a established plan to build a pedestrian bridge over the tracks at this location, and a lot of people use this as a way to cross, but that doesn't make it appropriate to cross there. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't make it the right thing to do. And
It's a damn shame is what it is.
yeah, and people will continue to get killed until everyone gets it through their heads, and I'm not sure when that's going to happen, if ever.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's any one good thing to take out of this thing, it's that the grandmother
One
did
day
an
shy of the rapture.
incredibly selfless thing, and, you know, the daughter will live because of it. But
Yes.
it's still awful.
Like, I don't understand why people know that trains are dangerous. People know that, like, it's common knowledge that, you know, watch out. Like, if you're gonna do that, which you really shouldn't in the first place. But, like, I don't know.
I feel like it isn't though.
You feel like it's not common knowledge?
I mean, I feel like if it was common knowledge, this would not happen as much.
That's true. I guess that's why Operation Lifesaver is the main.
Yeah. You know,
well, then
Beat
people
me to
are
it.
just stupid.
Operation Lifesaver was all over the place
Also,
when we were
yes.
kids.
Yeah.
And now it's not as much. And
Except for where I grew up, because it was a small town.
well, I just mean it was a very public
Yeah,
thing.
it was very prevalent.
You don't hear about it as much
Trains-
anymore.
Trains will kill you if you give them the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful. Don't second guess the train. The train will not stop for you. It will stop after it hits you and kills you. And not only are you dead, not only do you traumatize people, now you've made a bunch of people late.
Yep.
Any chance for a lightning round?
I suppose
I'm dying here.
Wiebot is in fact dying.
Well-
Union Pacific is scaling back work on their new train yard in Wantford, Texas.
Yep.
I wanna say.
Sucks to be
Yeah,
Texas.
Yeah, I like how the weird stories are about this yard,
Yep.
but then it gets scaled back. Can you buy your own train? It's an open-ended question from this new site. Let's buy a train.
Let's buy a train.
And then
Answer,
basically it talks about
yes.
private cars. Yeah, answer, yes.
So you want to
can.
buy a train?
Yeah, it's like the FIA. Do you want? So you want to start small?
Welcome
railroad?
to headaches.
Yeah.
But anyways, it just goes into detail about this one particular car, the Salisbury Beats, which was originally built for the B&M, and then it just goes into Amtrak's shenanigans with private cars
Amtrak's shenanigans. Yeah.
that we have talked about multiple times.
Oh yeah, we have indeed.
It's not even funny how many times we mentioned it.
Yeah. So
But-
two little steam engine sidebars. The centennial, the 100th birthday of Cass's Climax is coming up, and they're intending to return it to service for that. And as well,
HNNNNNG.
the Rolling Ingot JNL58, the little 2-foot mine engine, I think it is, or steel mill engine, made its first run after major restoration, and it looks really silly. It has
Steel mill.
Yeah, it
because
has-
it doesn't have its tank
It
on.
doesn't have its saddle tank on it, so it has two little tenders that it's towing behind it. One that looks way too small to be an actual tender, and the other one which is just basically a water jug on wheels.
Yeah.
It's so silly. It's fantastic, though.
Yeah. Good video of that too.
Yeah. And if you want more good news, you can read about the story of the NBNW as it stands right now. So, last we discussed the New England Berkshire and Western Railroad, the model railroad at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, where I attended. I was president of the railroad for a year. We were kicked out of our previous location in the basement of one of the dorms, and we had nowhere to go, and the layout was getting cut up and put into storage. As of the past week or so, the NAB&W has secured a new location in a public building so they can be accessible to the public, and is working on reconstructing the layout as it was in this new space. This layout is worth something on the order of $11 million, it's estimated. It is a huge and extremely detailed layout. It's been around since the 70s in its current form. It models the Troy and Albany area going north along the Hudson River and Lake Champlain into Canada. And if you ever get the chance to check it out, especially now that it's in a public location, absolutely go and pay them a visit. You know, maybe wait a little while for them to finish putting it together. But
Yeah.
it's a fantastic railroad. It's something that I'm so glad that they could preserve, and I'd like to take all of you there at some point. And maybe they'll have it half together when Julius comes out here in the summer sometime, and we'll ride out there and see it. I had such a blast operating on that layout and playing around in that layout.
Well, speak of Steam, I suppose. There's this GoFundMe for Trains and Cinema, company that I think is French, I want to say.
It looked French to me.
Yeah. But they want to digitize 100 films about trains.
Blackhawk.
Cool, let's do
Yeah,
it.
Blackhawk. Yeah. That's all that I have.
Speaking of European Steam, actually, there was just recently a contract signed over in the UK to run a regular steam-powered passenger service. But, you know, like a commuter service, using steam locomotives on, I believe, the Western Midland, or the West Midland Railroad, something like that. Yeah.
Good.
How freaking cool is that?
Also, the
US
build engine they just finished in the UK.
What?
Yeah, there was the new build that got done, I
Is the
think.
Green Arrow?
Maybe.
Or is the Green Arrow? No, the Green Arrow
no.
is they want to restore this engine.
I think it just happened.
Speaking of European steam, this Aberdeen steam, I guess, return of the steam locomotive to this town of Aberdeen, the Tornado, I guess, this British locomotive, the Tornado.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
that's their
anything
new
about
build.
British steam. I really don't know anything about British steam engines, but this locomotive was the first steam-powered train to pull into the city since the mid-1990s. So that's,
Wow, what a
that's
long
kind of
time.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, good job, Britain. You have more steam than us.
Yeah.
Still impressive. I'd love to go over there and see some of that steam in service.
I like how the turntable is operated by a crank. Yeah. It's awesome.
Crank. I didn't know Julius ran
Google.
turntables.
Yeah. Oh wait, but it's also got people on. Okay, people are helping. Good.
Right.
So I was just the crank.
Just give me a couple. Go ahead and do a couple more pieces of news. I need to go let the cat in.
Okay.
Google Lady locomotive. She's the new build.
Okay. Well, we have Amtrak versus flying, which I think is a opinion article. When by a guy that it started, I think, as a joke with where my travel ring swings to get me here from Detroit, the Detroit Auto Show in January.
Oh god, this article.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear a fantastically scathing review of Amtrak, read this article.
Yep.
So, big oof.
Yeah.
But, Wiebot just took Amtrak, and he seemed to have an okay time. He's typing. He's typing a lot.
Compared to the airlines, a labotomy with a spork would have been pleasant.
A labotomy. A lobotomy. Yeah. Thanks, Microsoft Dave.
Yes, that.
Anyway. Alright, so, well, the only other things I have are kind of sad, and I don't have total information on them. So, there is one thing that I will bring attention to, which is there are some pretty hefty proposals here, and I'm not sure if they're all for the same thing. I can't totally tell. Whoops. For SEPTA additions, speaking of Philadelphia, to the towns of Coatesville, Phoenixville, and even Tamaqua. So we are looking at some, major Pennsylvania passenger rail expansion on the table, as well as some Massachusetts passenger rail. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in my office. There's a lot of buzz about some Pennsylvania or some Massachusetts stuff, but yeah. So there's a new station coming up in Coatesville. There is they're trying to build a new parking garage. They also have Coatesville already has Amtrak service to New York, allegedly, but that's not much if they don't have.
I actually saw this station.
Oh, really?
It's neat.
You know what? Actually, it's funny. This is just beyond Thorndale.
Really cool how they've managed to tie in old and new architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And Pauli, I believe.
Yeah.
Paole.
Paoli.
Effing computer.
Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Financial details are being ironed out in the Phoenixville Passenger Rail project, which aims to extend the Maniac Norristown line, 3 new stations in King of Prussia, Schuylkill Township, and the Steel City. So, these are different projects. So it's 2 different lines. And then I'm not sure if the Tamaqua train is something else. Oh yeah, no, Tamaqua is looking at passenger service through Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern by the looks of it. CEO of RBNN and oh no, yeah, the company's looking to expand its passenger service. So yeah, that's not a SEPTA thing. This is something else. And it's also they're projecting it as being very cheap. So we'll see about that. But yeah, Pennsylvania's doing some big things with commuter rail. Other states take note.
Yeah.
And if that's all we have for today, that means we get to do our favorite segment that
Oh, jeez.
that people definitely never cheat on. Ooh, and the latest train is now off the map. I had a feeling that would happen. Okay, so let's take guesses on what this second latest train is. Or, well, the latest train on Amtrak, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna go with my gut.
Limited.
Okay.
I heard Eastbound Sunset Limited.
I'm with my gut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my gut and say it is Amtrak. One of the Zephyrs.
Okay.
The westbound Zephyr.
Okay.
I want to go with my gut and say Southbound Coast Starlight.
Southbound Coast Starlight. Okay. The Southbound Coast Starlight is 14 minutes late. Effectively on time. The westbound California Zephyr is also on time. The eastbound Southwest Chief is 11 minutes late, so effectively on time. Let me look around for a minute. You guys did a real good job of finding trains that were not, in fact, late.
What about the
Sunset
northbound?
Limited is I said.
Oh, you said Sunset Limited? Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you say eastbound? You said eastbound, right?
Yes.
Okay, the Sunset Limited eastbound is 51 minutes late, but it looks like it's going to be 2 hours late at its next station. Is that the latest train on Amtrak? We will see.
Oof.
2 hours late. Is there anything that can compare to that? Ooh, yes there is. Oh, wait a minute. Milky, what was yours again?
I said Southbound
Oh, you
Coast
said
Starlight.
southbound. That's right. Yep. Well, there's
So I
a
asked
there's a
about-
northbound one that's an hour late, but
Yeah.
the Empire Builder is 2.5 hours late, and that, I believe, is the latest train on Amtrak.
Yeah.
Rip.
That said, Amtrak is doing really, really well today, if that's the latest train.
Yeah.
There's only one train in the black on the radar, and it's a Hoosier state, and it's only an hour behind. There's one train that is
Amen.
experiencing a service disruption, but it's still on time. And even the Canadians are no more than 3 hours late. That said, the Hudson Bay is 18 hours late, so it's making up for everything else.
Yeah.
That really sucks. I really wonder how you get that late. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think there's much traffic to Hudson Bay.
Yeah, no, there
so
really isn't.
maybe they went into polar bears or something.
Yeah, literally. Or caribou.
Yeah. Caribou.
Alright, well, that is that for this evening. Sorry for the... I suppose you could almost call it a lackluster podcast. We just didn't do a whole lot. Because we have one person with no voice and one person who left.
Yeah.
I resent that.
Okay, Microsoft Dave.
Alright, well, let's... God damn it. Let's wrap up then with the end of the line. Wiebot goes first.
John Madden, John Madden.
Okay.
Well, Doxson didn't give us a termination before he left, but oh well. I'm just gonna leave it blank.
Yep.
For myself, I would like to say, go gadget, commuter rail.
Alright. I'm going to channel Wild here and share this picture of 493 at night in 1967.
I want to see it.
Pretty nice.
On the narrow gauge discussion forum.
Yep.
Oh wow, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Where is this? Oh, Alamosa.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ernie,
Ernie.
the photographer.
And finally, Abby.
I got a new dragon. That's all. That's really all it is. I mean, I linked the picture to him there.
Alright, everyone can check that out. And remember, actually, we don't have any spaces in Locomotive Versus, so don't post your ideas for Locomotive
Get
Versus.
Scoot.
Yeah, we have a Skookum idea for next time, but we also have a second Skookum idea now. Skookum and Little River really need to fight some narrow gauge engines, or in Little River 110, because they really don't deserve to be fighting the big boys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye. Bye.